So I've already made a build for the M14 Marksman rifle, which is available to the engineer class, but a few weeks ago, maybe last week, a viewer by the name of Sin4ING89 recommended I make an SMG build for the M14, so I went ahead and did that and wanted to share it with all of you today. So starting off with a blank slate here, considering the request to make it an SMG build, we're going to go with the Whisper short barrel. Now this does increase your control, handling, and accuracy, which is what we're really going to go for here, is probably bump up that accuracy quite a bit. For the muzzle device, we're going with the advanced multi-caliber suppressor to get a little bit of extra control. A weak gunshot suppression gives you a little bit of extra firing stability at the slight cost of handling, but we'll make up for that a little bit later. First thing you're going to want to change out is the handguard kit. So we're going to go with the M14 advanced frame system, which gives you access to a bunch of new weapon slots, or attachment slots rather. So go ahead and equip that. This gives you access to a foregrip, and we're going to go with the ZFSG tactical foregrip, which increases your accuracy and gives you +1 control. For the magazine, we're going to go with the 50 round drum mag, considering you're going to be using this in CQB engagements. You really want that extended magazine to be able to deal with a lot of enemies. Now this costs a lot of handling, but you know, for that high magazine capacity, I think it's worth it. So you can't actually change out the rear grip here, or the pistol grip, which is unfortunate. So we're going to go right to the stock. Now I tried a few different stocks here, you know, tried some that increased the handling and stuff like that, but when I was firing this thing, while hip firing specifically, it felt like I was shaking a lot. So I went with a 416 stable stock to get extra control and extra stability. It made it a lot better to even hip fire, and arguably also fire when you do need to ADS and take those longer range engagements on. For the optic, considering it's a CQB build, I simply went with the XRO quick response sight, which is my favorite one, and then we're going to deck all of these out with Hornet handguard panels to increase the accuracy of the weapon, so your hip fire accuracy. And then -10mm to get extra ADS speed. For the foregrip, we're going to go with +20mm to get more stability when moving, and -20 grams to get extra ADS speed. For the stock, we're going to go with +3 slots and +50 grams to get extra firing stability and extra control. This felt a lot better to fire when you were bumping up that control and firing stability a little bit. For the optic, -20mm, which is, you know, I put this on all my sights. I reduced the eye relief to get the sight closer to my pupil. So the M14 unlocks at level 32, and in order to use this specific build, you will need to level it up to 68 to get that 50 round mag. Now, at first I was like, why am I even making an M14 SMG build? This is so dumb. But turns out that this thing is an absolute beast in those CQB engagements when built like this. You're doing such high damage and such high headshot damage multipliers. You know, you're doing 27 damage per shot, so it's taking you 4 shots to kill, and you still have a decent fire rate with this thing. On full auto is 727 RPM, so you're doing 27 damage at 727 RPM, which is really decent. You're doing that across the board, well, except on the lower limbs, so basically the legs, but all the upper limbs, torso, groin, you're doing 27 damage, and then obviously 51 damage to the head, which makes it so you only need 2 shots to kill if you're getting double headshots. I never really expected an M14 fully automatic to be doing as good as it did as a CQB weapon build, but hot damn, that 50 round mag just allows you to deal with so many enemies, and considering how high the accuracy is, it is really good at hip firing people down, and they just don't expect to be getting shot down by something that's arguably used at longer ranges for the most part, you know, when sane people make the builds like this. But this little M14 SMG build just gives you an extra option, an extra CQB option for playing as engineer, which, you know, most of the weapons that they have are like those longer ranges. You can modify them to be pretty good in closer ranges as well, but yeah, the M14 SMG build, a lot of fun to use. Highly recommend trying it out if you haven't already, and trying out the M14 as a whole. I don't see a lot of people running the M14, unfortunately, but it's a very strong weapon, and it really gives a lot of flexibility to the engineer class. So again, shout out to Sin4ING89 for recommending that I make a M14 SMG build. As usual, the share code for the weapon build will be in the description down below, as well as in the top pinned comment. I'll now leave you with a few highlight clips of me using this arguably weird build. In any case, hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.